Hello everyone, welcome to the new Fritz Trainer course regarding the sacrifice of material. I'm going to make a brief introduction about what you can expect from this course. Material is generally sacrificed to obtain an initiative, and this can be classified into a long-term initiative, which is mostly based on pawn structure. If you're having a healthier pawn structure without weaknesses and having more space in the center, which is a necessary ingredient for switching to attack on either wing, having a nice outpost for the pieces, and the ability to improve one's position without any obstruction from the opponent. So those are the factors generally where it's not changing much. It's mostly long term, and short term initiatives just many factors, and includes a safer king. I mean, when you're castling on opposite sides, and let's say that in a matter of few moves, both kings could be attacked. So sometimes maybe if you have a safer king, and then if you play a little bit slowly, this factor could change immediately, and probably your king might come under attack. So safer king is a very short-term initiative. And a development advantage, for instance, if you have a development advantage, you need to use it very immediately, otherwise your opponent will also complete development, and probably the game will be roughly even. Control of an open file, a control of a diagonal. These factors have to be used immediately, otherwise your opponent will also probably challenge for the control of the open file or the diagonal. And a better coordination between the pieces. If you're having a better coordination, you should try to make use of it very quickly, otherwise your opponent might also coordinate the pieces to equalize the game, or perhaps disturb the coordination in some way or the other. So in short-term initiatives, you generally have to act very quickly, unless you can convert them into a long-term initiative, like basically an advantage in pawn structure. So now we look at various examples, how these factors are at play. So we join the game after Black's 11th move, and see in this position, White is already well developed, and Black just opens the center with ED4. It's a very natural move, but unfortunately for him, White has a practically decisive idea. Of course, we have seen many sacrifices in the Sicilian on B5, on F7, many ideas, but of course, as the student must always be looking out for various sacrifices all throughout the game, and here I believe Black missed this idea. Knight B5, extremely strong idea. The main factor here is White is having a development advantage, and in trying to convert into a more a stable advantage. In this instance, if Black moves the queen back to B8, knight takes d6, and now white just achieves the two bishops, and in an open board this is extremely dangerous for black. After queen takes d6, bishop takes d4, knight takes e4, rook e1. You see black still have to develop the queen side, whereas white is already fully mobilized. And after knight df6, queen c2, queen f4, bishop e5, queen h6, bishop d3, knight g5, knight d4. It's extremely hard for black to find normal move. I believe f4 is coming at some point, and probably the knight is ready to jump to f5 and so on. Very, very strong initiative for white, and importantly better coordinated pieces. Instead of knight df6, if knight ef6, knight g5, trying to hit f7, c5, bishop f6, queen d1, rook d1, knight f6, rook e7, bishop g4, f3, bishop h5, rook takes b7. Now we see that a transformation has occurred, and white is having a much more healthier pawn structure and better coordinated pieces, and these queenside pawns are bound to be attacked. a7 is a weakness, c5 is a weakness. You see that white has less pawn lines than black, and this is quite a technical position, and white should, with correct play, should win in the long run. So knight b5, instead of going queen b8, my opponent, I think, in my opinion, the correct way to test sacrifice, and decided to accept my, what you can say, a transformation of the position, like instead of giving a free advantage of two bishops, just to test, to make the most critical line. And for bishop f7, rook f7, rook takes c7, bishop c7, bishop d4. We have a position where white has the much safer king, again a temporary factor, and that has to be utilized very quickly, and white has to play really energetically. At this point, my opponent blundered with knight takes e4, and after rook e1, he simply resigned. The problem being that the pieces sleeping on the queen side cannot take part in the defense of the king. For instance, after knight f6, bishop f6, knight f6, queen b3, threatening knight g5, or rook e7 as well. King f8, knight g5, rook e7, takes, queen f7, queen takes g7, and after knight e8, queen h7, just such a terrible position, and the h pawn is running very quickly, and black's pieces are not coordinated to stop it. Instead of knight e4, rook e7, the best move, trying to get away from knight g5 and queen b3, and maybe in case try to have a semblance of defense with knight f8 and bishop e6. So here, rook e1, I believe probably can go e5 at some point. Knight e5, takes, f4, bishop g4, queen b3, bishop e6, queen b4, rook h5. And here, very, very important move to understand that rook d1, taking control of the open file. Otherwise, probably black is going to play rook d8 at some point. Not immediately, because queen e7 is available. But activating the rook is the key idea here. And with the pawns on f4 and e4 advancing quickly, and then also white has the idea of queen e7. A significant advantage, but only possible because of this very, very important move, rook d1, taking control of the open file and activating the rook. Again, as I say that open files are very, very tricky in that it can be very, very short term. You have to take control of them immediately, otherwise your opponent may take control of them. So